guys, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're baling this stuff, the wet hay anyways. It got a little too dry on me, and I didn't even rake it because I didn't want it to get any drier. So it's taking longer to bale than I want it to, but I've been short on help today. Had a million things going on, and it was just me and a friend of mine is tedding for me, which really helped out. DJ's coming back in with the rake, and Dad's gathering up bales. And Randy's got his 3010 over there at the barn. He's getting ready to hook up to his kick baler and go small square bale some of my hay for me. I'll have to unload his wagons tonight yet, too. They're in a 4640. I like the tractor. It's not pulling the hills very well because it don't have much for tires on it. This right one's actually flat, so we got a dual on it. They put the left dual on, so it's on backwards, and it don't do much for traction that way. We're running B1 and 2. Done 38 bales so far. Issues with it. Hoping my cousin will be able to come run this so I can get help with picking up bales and get the wrapper going and help get the little square baler going. I really like baling with these big balers. It was kind of my first job. My cousin, we used to run 2 of these and did quite a bit of custom work. I think I started running these balers when I was 13 or 14. Because I know I didn't have my driver's license when I started, and I'd have to ride the 4-wheeler to their shop, which is just over that way. I got stuff baling at my place, 46. We tried the 4020 and the 1206, but they couldn't move them. Doesn't look like 15 will either. You get the 275. Smaller ones couldn't get it out. Good afternoon, guys. I was doing some editing, getting ready to make the video from wet baling, and I really didn't get all that much video on it, and it was real chopped up, and I didn't have much time to explain things. But we're here at my place. The buildings are just over the hill. Here we baled 2 hillsides up there by the barn, this one right here, and then just back through there. And right here is where you've seen we had the baler stuff. Basically, it's usually always wet down through here. But I mowed through it with the disc vine just to mow it, but didn't necessarily have to bale it. But the baler was coming up through there and he got stuck. We had the 4020 and the 1206, they were sitting here at the barn, so we hooked them up in a couple different combinations and we couldn't move the baler. In 1586, it was sitting up front there behind our house. We went and unhooked the blade off of it and brought it back. We tried it, it wouldn't move it, so we hooked the 4020 onto the front of it and still couldn't move it. So then finally we went over and unhooked the planter off the 275 and we was able to get it out. But I just didn't explain it very well, and I didn't do much recording because from about the point the baler got stuck, the rest of the night we was not having much luck. We ended up still having to wrap them and didn't get started wrapping until almost 10 o'clock. And we was trying to get bales picked up, and we had the skid loader stuck over there at the bottom of the hill. Had my truck, it was stuck over there. We had to drag it up the hill, pulling the trailer with bales. The ground was still plenty wet, but that was like the perfect week for making hay. But the ground was just wet. That's what slowed us down. So we got that done, and then I was having issues with the wrapper. It wasn't pushing itself, and I'll take you up there and show you. Here, the tubes got a little mud on them because we was riding four-wheelers this weekend and splashed some mud on them. But there's a little bit of a hill here, and the wrapper wasn't pushing itself up the hill for some reason. And then you see that bale sticking out of the tube right there. When we was getting the tube started, the first ones, they took off down the ramp at the end and pulled it apart, pulled that bale out. So that bale's gonna be bad, and then probably two each direction from it will go bad. But I wasn't gonna cut all the plastic off and rewrap them because it was 11:45 and I had had enough for the day. If it was the afternoon and everything else hadn't gone wrong, I might have done it, but I was just ready to be done with that day. But there's that pasture there, and then the one out in front of the barns, the ones that we wet baled here. And we was figuring on wet baling all of our first cutting, but then we had a awesome week for making hay. Ended up doing a lot of it dry, and I probably would have went ahead and done this dry also if I knew the week was going to turn out like it did. Considering I was mowing this in the rain first night, I wasn't so sure we should be even mowing, but we got it done. The whole wet baling was terrible, and first just everything went wrong. And when things are going wrong, grabbing the camera to record, it's not always the first thing that comes to your mind. So that's why the videos, there's not much to it, and it doesn't really go in depth on explaining what was going on or anything. But I just wanted to add that on. So thanks for watching.